Welcome, one and all, to another weekly recap. Today we've got some interesting things to talk about. Bungie stealing art without credit for Marathon, why Mario Kart World is Mario Kart World and not Mario Kart 9, and has been actually in development for around 5 years. Profile-specific news feeds on the Switch 2, and a Clash of Clans Netflix show? Also, real quick, before we get started, if you have any ideas on what I should talk about next week, feel free to leave a comment with your suggestion down below on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, go pull up the YouTube video, I guess, I don't know. So first off, in the latest Ask the Developer interview series from Nintendo, we got some interesting new details about Mario Kart World. Nintendo said that if they were just going to add more courses to the game, then they would have just called it Mario Kart 9, but they decided to go with the open world design we now know of, and so they dropped the numbering and went with the new title Mario Kart World. Another interesting thing we now know is that Mario Kart World was originally being developed for Switch 1 and development started like 5 years ago. As they were developing the game though, they started running into problems, they were having to give up on certain ideas in order to make certain things work. They were thinking about lowering the resolution, toning down the visuals, and possibly even capping the frame rate at 30 FPS in some scenarios. They then got wind that the idea was to move the development of the game to Switch 2, and that opened up a lot more possibilities and fixed a lot of the problems they were running into with the 8+ year old hardware. Next up, the updated news feed on Switch 2. So previously you could have different region accounts logged into your Switch, like an American and Japanese account for example. Then if you were to go open up the news tab, you'd get all the news from both accounts dumped into one feed. So like half your news articles would be in Japanese since they would just be doubled because of both accounts, one for American in English, or whatever language you would have it set to, and another article entirely in Japanese in this example. Now on Switch 2, when you go to open up the news tab, Nintendo has made it so you get to choose which profile you're going to be browsing the news feed on. Therefore making it so you can just choose your main account and won't be able to just see all the English articles and all the Japanese ones. You just have a less cluttered feed. I personally won't get any use out of this since I don't have a Japanese account or anything like that, but there are quite a few people I know of that will be using this feature in order to just view the news in English. Moving on, people have gone crazy with the video game adaptations and are now turning basically every popular game into a show or movie. We not only have an upcoming Minecraft Netflix show, we had Arcane, which was a League of Legends adaptation, the Minecraft movie, and now, even though it is a little late, we're getting a Clash of Clans Netflix show. We only have like one screenshot so far, but I'll be really interested to see what it turns out to be like. The cinematics and trailers they make for Clash of Clans usually look great and pretty funny, so hopefully this show is good like those are, but honestly, you never know how anything is going to turn out until it releases. Especially thinking about the fact that Clash of Clans really reached its peak player base in like 2015, 2016, I wonder what we'll get next though. Like, we already have announcements of Legend of Zelda live action movies, second Mario movie. Maybe we'll get like a Terraria or Half-Life show, no one can know. Finally, this past week we found out Bungie stole a bunch of art for the new extraction shooter Marathon. A few days ago I got told that Bungie had taken an independent artist's work without consent or crediting and just dumped it into their new game. I didn't really know what it meant, but then I saw the articles and the screenshots. The independent artist, known as Anti-Real, had her art stolen and her personal logo smudged out on one of the ship designs, and you could literally still see the logo just slightly smudged. Bungie says it was made aware of the issue and they're claiming that the art team didn't know the art was stolen, but I'm not totally sure I believe that. They also said they reached out to the artist to discuss the matter and they're committed to doing right by the artist. So I'll be interested to see what happens and especially interested to see what they end up doing with the game and if they redo the art or what. What I find even crazier is that even though they claim the art team didn't know and this was done by a now former employee, the art director for the game and several of the members of the art team are literally following Anti-Real on social media, so this is even more suspicious and really isn't convincing me that they didn't know the art was copied until now. And fun fact, this actually isn't the first time Bungie has stolen art without permission from the original artist of the work. In 2024, Bungie agreed to compensate an artist known as Tofu Rabbit after she discovered that the design for a Destiny 2 themed Nerf gun Bungie was releasing was ripped directly from her fan art. Bungie has also been accused of using other creators' Destiny 2 fan art in references and cutscenes without permission, so they've done this before and just keep on doing it. They say they're reviewing their in-game assets, especially those that were done by former employees, to ensure this won't happen again. I'm still skeptical of that though. Anyways, that's about all I have this week. Some pretty chaotic stuff this week, especially the whole Bungie marathon debacle. Switch 2 comes out in 2 weeks from yesterday, and I'm pretty excited. I'll probably have a review or some other video up on my tech review channel when it comes out, so I'll keep you all posted about that. In the meantime, new short either yesterday or later today, depending on if I have enough time to edit one fast enough. Another new one probably up early next week. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you think we deserve it, and I'll see y'all next week for another weekly recap. Peace out.